In this video, we are going to be connecting 4 huge concepts for playing lead guitar, for playing chords on guitar, for just note finding, theory. So much stuff is covered in this lesson which brings it all together. We've got the cage system, intervals, which are the distance between our notes. We'll look at the 5 positions of the major pentatonic, and finally we'll be connecting all of that to the main thing this video is about, which is arpeggios. An arpeggio is a broken chord, or we can think about a chord as a frozen arpeggio. So if I just play this C major chord, we know that is a chord and it's C major, and we're very aware of what that is. We instinctively know what it is. We've probably played some arpeggios so far where we pick something along those lines. You're picking single strings out of a chord, and that's what you may know arpeggios as. When we're in this position, we can just pick each of those notes and not let any other strings ring out, so we only have one note at a time, and that is more what we consider for arpeggios for lead guitar, just one note ringing out at a time. It's a very important difference, because when we're just holding down a chord, this is rhythm guitar stuff, that is more lead guitar stuff, because we've just got one note ringing out at any one time. And in this position, playing every note that makes up the chord gives us all the notes that we have as a C major arpeggio. When we move position to the A shape, so I'm still playing a C chord, this is an A bar chord shape, the first 2 notes of that go from the 1st to the 5th intervals wise, and then to the octave. So we're missing a 3rd, and that major 3rd would be here, where we played in the 1st shape. So we need to still use that when we're thinking of arpeggios. Okay, and then we have our C major arpeggio using the A shape. Now before we start to make those chords any more complex, that's what we need to practice, because it's a very different way of practicing it. As I say, in the first position, there should be no surprises there, but the way we're practicing it is by making sure we've only got one note ringing out at a time. When we move to the A shape, and we want to play another C arpeggio using this A shape, we need to add the major 3rd in, because it's not included in this chord. It's just there, and every other one is just from the chord shape itself. There's different ways to practice it. You can bar it, you can have a different finger. Highly personal preference, but that's the end goal. From there we'd move on to the G shape, and we've of course got octaves here, and we're just playing exactly the notes of the chord. It's only on the B string where of course we do have 2 options, because if you think about a G chord, we can do this or this. Both of them are a G chord, because we've got those 2 notes. They're both notes from the G major scale, they just happen to occur on the same string when we're in this position. So when we put it here, G shape, we're just using a G major shape to play C major arpeggios. We then get to shape 1, E major shape from the cage system, but we're going to play an arpeggio using this E shape. The one we have to add is again that major 3rd, because it's a major chord, but the notes that we were playing a bar chord go 1st to 5th intervals wise. So that's 1st, 5th, and then the octave. It's a power chord. The 3rd is here, as we've covered already, so we need to add that to our arpeggio that we play. 1st, 3rd, 5th, 1st, 3rd, 5th, 1st. first. After the E shape, the final one is a D shape. Thinking about it like this or like this. Either of those, just like a normal D major, we couldn't play the third unless we're thinking of it as an arpeggio, because we've got two notes, again, on one string. First, third, and fifth. The third and the fifth are on the same string. We could keep that going, but we kind of end up using kind of another shape. So we really want to be thinking of that higher octave, and the D, from an arpeggio's point of view, it's this shape that's the most useful. And then it's a repetition back to that C shape.